Hi everyone. Today we'll discuss concept of VLANs. So before that, we'll go for what is a switch management access. How to configure a switch with initial settings. To prepare a switch for remote management access, the switch must be configured with IP address and a subnet mask. To manage the switch from remote network, the switch must be configured with the default gateway. This is very similar to configuring the IP address information on host devices here. So in this figure you can see switch virtual interface, okay, SVI on S1 should be assigned an IP address. The SVI is a virtual interface, not a physical port on the switch. A console cable is used to connect a PC so that switch can be initially configured here. So for configuring a switch with initial settings, switch SVI configuration example is there. So by default, the switch is configured to have its management control over through VLAN 1. All ports are assigned to VLAN 1 by default. For security purposes, it is considered as a best practice to use VLAN other than VLAN 1 for management VLAN here. So step 1, configure the management interface from VLAN interface configuration mode, and IPv4 address and subnet mask is applied to the management SVI, that is switch virtual interface of the switch. So you have to know that SVI for VLAN 99 will not appear as until VLAN 99 is created and there is a device connected to switch port associated with the VLAN 99 here. So these are some switch SVI configuration example. First you want to enter into the global configuration mode. Okay, using the command called as a config terminal, and we want to give the interface VLAN 99 and IP address IPv4 followed by the subnet mask, and similarly for IPv6 and no shutdown to enable the management interface here. So after that, go for return to privilege mode, give the N command, and to save the running configuration to the startup configuration file, use the command called as a copy running config startup config here. Okay. So to configure default gateway, the switch should be configured with a default gateway. If it was, it will be managed remotely from the networks that are not directly connected. So for this purpose, you want to enter into global configuration mode, configure terminal, configure default gateway for switch, IP default gateway, it may be 172.17.99.1, and to return to the privilege mode, N command is used, and to save the running config to startup config, use a command called as a copy running config startup config here. So to verify the configuration, we have the command called as a show IP interface brief and show IPv6 interface brief commands are useful for determining the status of both physical and virtual interface here. So the output shown here is for interface VLAN 99 is being configured with IPv4 address as well as IPv6 address here. So you can see the IPv4 address as well as the IPv6 address here. Okay. So now configure the switch ports. So configuring the switch ports, duplex communication, full duplex communication increases the bandwidth efficiency by allowing both ends of the connection to transmit and receive data simultaneously. Two-way communication. This is also known as a bidirectional communication and requires micro-segmentation here. A micro-segmented LAN is created when switch port has only one device connected and it is operating in a full duplex mode. There is no collision domain associated with the switch port operating in a full duplex mode here. So unlike full duplex communication, we also have half duplex communication is unidirection. That means performance issues because of data can flow in only one direction at a time, often resulting in collisions also. Similarly, gigabit Ethernet and 10 GB NICs require full duplex connections to operate here. So in full duplex mode, the collision detection circuit on NIC is disabled. Full duplex offers 100% efficiency in both directions here. This results in a doubling of potential use of the stated bandwidth here. So configuring the switch ports at the physical layer, switch ports can manually configure with the specific duplex and speed settings here. So for this purpose, the respective interface configuration command are duplex and speed. Okay, you can see the commands here. For this configure switch ports at physical layer, you want to enter into global configuration mode using the command called as a config T and enter interface configuration mode. Interface fast Ethernet 0x1 and for interface duplex full. For configuring the interface speed, you are using the command called as a speed 100, and to return to privileged executive mode, N command is used, and to save the running config to startup config, we are using the copy running config startup config here. So auto MDX automatic medium dependent interface crossover. Auto MDX is enabled. The switch interface automatically detects the required cable connection type, that is straight through or crossover, and configures the connection approximately here. So when configuring to switches without the auto MDX feature, straight through cables must be used to connect the devices such as servers, workstations, routers. Crossover cables must be used to connect to other switches or repeaters here. So with auto MDX enabled, either type of cable can be used to connect to other devices, and the interface automatically adjusts the communicate successfully here. On newer Cisco switches, MDX auto interface configuration mode command enables the feature here. So when using auto MDX on the interface speed and duplex must be set to auto so that the feature operates correctly here. So switch verification commands, again we are using the show command. This to display the interface status and configuration, we are using the command called as a show interface ID here, and this one, and display current configuration, we are using the startup config here. And to display running configuration, show running config we are using here. And to display information about the file system, we are using the flash file system show flash, and to display system hardware we are using the show version and software status. Display history of command entered, show history command used. Display IP information about the interface, show IP interface ID, or for IPv6 we can use the show IPv6 interface ID here. To display the MAC address table, we are using a command called as a show MAC address table or show MAC address table. You can write anyway. So to verify the switch port configuration, we are using the show running config used to verify the switch has been correctly configured or not. So for show interfaces command is another commonly used command which displays the status and statistics of information on the network interfaces on the switch. This command frequently used when configuring and monitoring the network devices. The first line you can see output of the show interfaces fast Ethernet 0x18. This command indicates that fast Ethernet 0x18 interface is up, meaning is that it is operational. Further down, the output shows the duplex is full and speed is 100 Mbps. You can see full duplex and 100 Mbps media is 10/100 base TX here. So to configure switch ports, network access layer issues, show interfaces command is useful for detecting common media issues, and network access layer issues. The show interface command output displays the counters and statistics for fast Ethernet 0x18 interface. So now we'll go for the VLANs. So basic things you want to remember. So we'll now go for the VLANs. What is a VLAN? VLAN stands for virtual VLAN here. Okay. Provide segmentation and organizational flexibility in a switched networks. So VLANs are logical connections with other similar devices here. So VLANs are based on logical connections instead of the physical connections, you can say. VLANs allow an administrator to segment networks based on the factors such as function, team or application. Each VLAN is connected as a separate logical network, you can say. Any switch port can belong to the VLAN, and each VLAN will have its own unique range of IP addressing and provide organization that is more manageable. Broadcast, multicast, unicast are isolated in individual VLANs and used for the smaller broadcast domains here. Any switch port can belong to the VLAN here. A VLAN creates a logical broadcast domain that can span multiple physical segments. Using VLANs, network administrators can implement access and security policies according to the specific grouping of the users here. So each switch port can be assigned only one VLAN here. So what are the benefits of VLAN? Generally, smaller broadcast domains. Dividing the LAN reduces the number of broadcast domains here. Improved security, improved IT efficiency, reduced cost, better performance in reducing traffic, improving the bandwidth. Reduce the cost to support multiple groups or VLANs here. Simpler management. Similar groups will need similar applications and other network resources. So improve security. Only users in the same VLAN can communicate together. If you take the faculty only can communicate using the VLAN 10. If you take the student, only student VLAN can be communicate with the student VLAN. And guest VLAN 30 can communicate with the guest VLAN 30 here. So we have types of VLANs. Okay, different types of VLANs here. So types of VLANs: default VLAN. Okay, VLAN 1 is the following: the default VLAN, default native VLAN, default management VLAN, cannot be deleted or renamed. While we cannot delete VLAN 1, Cisco will recommend that we'll assign this default features to other VLANs here. So for that, go to the privilege mode, enter a command called as a show VLAN brief. So you can see the default VLAN names, okay, and what are the ports are active. So next, coming to the data VLAN. So data VLAN is nothing but dedicated to user generated traffic, email or web traffic here. VLAN 1 is a default data VLAN because all interfaces are assigned to this VLAN here. Next, coming to the native VLAN. Native VLANs are used for trunk links only here. All frames are tagged on the 802.1q trunk link except for those on native VLAN. So this IEEE 802.1q standard specifies native VLANs for trunk links which default to the VLAN 1 here. Next, coming to the management VLAN, this is used for SSH or Telnet VTY traffic and should not be carried with the end user traffic here. Typically, the VLAN that is SVI for layer 2 switch. So types of VLANs we can see again, continuation. Voice VLAN. A separate VLAN is required because voice traffic requires this. So we support VoIP. So assures a bandwidth, high quality of service priority, ability to avoid congestion, delay less than that 150 milliseconds from source to destination. The entire net must be designed to support the VoIP voice, you can say. Okay. So for this verification, VLANs in a multi-switch environment. Okay. Defining VLAN trunks. So a trunk is a point-to-point link. Okay. Between the two network devices here. Cisco trunk functions allow more than one VLAN here. Extend the VLAN across the entire network. By default, supports all the VLANs, and it also supports the 802.1q trunking. So what actually this VLAN trunks? So VLAN trunks allows all VLAN traffic to propagate between the switches here. This enables devices connected to different switches but same VLAN to communicate without going to the router here. A trunk is a point-to-point link between the two devices, I said, that carries more than one VLAN here. So a VLAN trunk can extend VLANs across the entire network. So for this purpose, Cisco supports IEEE 802.1q trunking. Okay. Trunking, 802.1q trunking for coordinating trunks on the fast Ethernet, gigabit Ethernets, 10 gigabit Ethernet interfaces, you can see. A trunk could also be used between network device and a server or another device equipped with the appropriate 802.1q cable NIC network interface card. So by default, on Cisco Catalyst switches, all VLANs are supported on the trunk port here. Okay. So VLAN identification also we have. So networks without VLAN, you can see example. Without VLANs, all devices connected to the switches will receive all unicast, multicast as well as the broadcast here. So whatever the packet you are sending from the faculty, it is broadcasted to the all the PCs here, guest, student and as well as the faculty. So networks with the VLAN, okay, you can see VLAN trunks configured to support VLAN 10 as well as the VLAN 20 here. Okay. So the packet is only forwarded to the faculty here. The packet is forwarded from the VLAN 10 to switch S1 to S3 and faculty. It is broadcasting like this. So VLAN identification with a tag. So this the standard Ethernet frame header does not contain information about the VLAN to which the frame belongs generally. So for this purpose, when Ethernet frame is placed on a trunk, example, information about the VLANs is added. This process is called as a tagging here. This process is called as a tagging, which is accomplished by the IEEE 802 header. Okay, and IEEE 802 1Q header includes 4 bytes tag inserted with the original Ethernet frame header specifying VLAN to which frame belongs. Okay. When a switch receives a frame on port configured in a access mode and assigned VLAN, the switch inserts VLAN tag, VLAN tag on the frame header and recalculates frame check sequence FCS, FCS, and sends the tag frame out of the trunk port here. So we can see different types of tag fields of 80.1Q VLAN tag. One is type, you can see 2-byte field hexadecimal 0x181x8100. This refers a tag protocol ID, TPID, and user priority 3-bit value that supports, and CFI 1-bit value, and VLAN ID 12-bit VLAN identifier that support up to the 4096 VLANs. Okay. Next, NATO VLANs and 802.1Q tagging. Okay. 802.1Q trunk basics tagging is only done on VLANs here. Okay. The use of native VLAN was designed for legacy use, like a hub in example. Unless changed, VLAN is a native VLAN only. Both ends of the trunk must be configured with same native VLAN, and each trunk is configured separately. So it is possible to have different native VLANs on the separate trunk CK. So voice VLAN tagging, the VoIP phone is in 3-port switch here. You can see in this example in a diagram. The switch will use the CDP to inform the phone of the voice VLAN. The phone will tag its own traffic, voice, and can set cost of service. Cost of service is a quality of service for layer 2. The phone may or may not tag frames on the PC here. So you can see different traffic, voice VLAN, access VLAN, and access VLAN here. So voice VLAN is tagged with the appropriate layer 2 class of service priority value, and access VLAN can be accessed to tag with the layer 2 COS priority value, and is also not tagged to no layer 2 COS priority value here. So voice VLAN verification, for that you can have the show command, go to the privilege mode, Okay, use a command called as a show interfaces FA0/18. Okay, switch port. So this command shows us both data and voice VLANs assigned to the interface. This highlighted one, access mode VLAN 20 student and voice VLAN 150 for voice. So one for the data, one for the voice. You can see this highlighted one, access mode VLAN 20, voice VLAN 150. By using the command called as a show interfaces FA0/18 switch port here. So now we'll go for the configuration of VLAN. So VLAN ranges on Catalyst switches, Catalyst switches 2960 and 3650 support over 4000 VLANs here. Okay, so normal range of VLAN is 1 to 1005 and extended range is from VLAN 10006 to 4095. So normal range 1 to 1005 VLANs are used in a small to medium sized businesses, and 1002 to 1005 are reserved for legacy VLANs here, and 1 to 1002 to 1005 are auto created and cannot be deleted here, and it is stored in VLAN data file in flash. Okay, and VTP can be synchronized between switches, and extended VLANs range from VLAN 1006 to 4095 and mainly used for by the service providers, and it can run on a running config, supports fewer VLAN features and requires VTP configurations here. So VLAN creation commands, VLAN details are stored in a VLAN dot file. We create VLANs in a global configuration mode generally. So configure terminal, create a VLAN with valid ID number, VLAN ID, specify the unique name to identify the VLAN. Okay, name VLAN name, and return to privilege mode. You can go for the command called as N, and again you enter into global configuration mode config T. So if the student PC is going to be a VLAN 20, we'll create the VLAN first and then name it. So if you don't name it, the Cisco IS will give a default name of VLAN and 4-digit number of VLAN. Example, VLAN 0002 0 for VLAN 20 here. So for that purpose, go to the switch S1, configure terminal, then give the VLAN name, VLAN number, VLAN ID, VLAN 20, and name equal to student, get. So VLAN port assignment commands, once VLAN is created, okay, we can assign its correct interfaces here. So for this purpose, after creating a VLAN, the next step is to assign the ports of a VLAN here. The switch port mode access mode command is optional. With this command, interface changes to the strictly access mode here. Access mode indicates the port belongs to single VLAN and will not negotiate to become a trunk link here. So in the figure above, you can see port F0/0. Okay, we'll go another example for this. Okay. So once VLAN is created, we can assign its correct interfaces here. Any device connected to the port well associated with the VLAN, okay, we can give the interface ID and switch port access VLAN 20. This switch port mode access is used for set the port to the access mode, and switch port access VLAN ID is to assign the port to the VLAN. Okay. So VLANs are configured on switch port and not on the end devices. You want to remember this. So in the previous example, PC2 is configured with the IPv4 address and subnet mask that is associated with the VLAN, which is configured on the switch port here. So to verify, so VLAN port assignment example, you can see this again. So also discuss data and voice VLANs, and data and voice VLANs example, you can go VLAN 20 name student and VLAN 50 name voice exit, giving the interface, and switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20 and MLS queue trust. Okay, we are using this for quality of service. Switch port voice VLAN 150N. So to verify VLAN information, so after VLAN is configured, VLAN configuring can be validated using the Cisco IS show commands. So for this show VLAN command is used, and show VLAN summary, show VLAN show interface VLAN 20. So display VLAN name, status, its ports on VLAN per line, brief, and display information about the identify VLAN ID number, ID VLAN ID. Display information about identified VLAN name, name VLAN name here, and for summary we are using the summary command. So change the VLAN port membership. So no need to have the switch port access VLAN. There are a number of ways to change the VLAN membership. Re-enter switch port VLAN access VLAN ID command. Use no switch port access VLAN to place interface back to the VLAN 1 here. Okay, see the example here. Interface FA0/18, no switch port access VLAN N. Use of show VLAN brief or show interface FA0/18 switch port commands to verify the correct VLAN association here. So you can also delete the VLANs. Delete VLANs with the no VLAN ID command, and so VLAN trunks. So till now we are configured. We'll go with the example. One example for previous VLAN configuration. So their IP address is not set here. You can see this IP address. So you can set the IP address, config, desktop, IP config. So already IP address is set 172.17.20.22 and subnet mask 255.255.0.0. Okay, and go for the switch S1. You can double click command prompt and you can see the state is up already. So enable config T already is enabled mode, and VLAN VLAN 20 space 20. So name I can give as student, end. Okay, now the confirm console by console switch. So on the switch port, I want to configure the access port and assign to the VLAN 20. So any device connected to the port will associate with the VLAN 20. So go for config global configuration mode, then interface. So what is the interface I am using? Use that FA0x1, FA0x1, and switch port. You can use the tab command, mode access, and the switch port access, switch port access VLAN 20. So now we can end. Now you can see the configuration again. So I can use the commands called as a show VLAN. So you can see the different VLANs here. For one default VLAN active, and what are the ports for the default VLAN. And for 20 student, active VLAN is FA0x1, and for 1002 default token ring 103, 104 are default. And you can see more. So VLAN summary also you can show VLAN summary. Show VLAN. So command is not working. Show interfaces. Show interfaces. FA0x18. Switch port. So you can see the used to confirm fast Ethernet 0x18 port has been connected, assigned to the data voice data and as well as the voice VLANs here. So now we'll go for the trunking. Again we have an example for that. So VLAN trunks. So we are seeing VLAN configuration, data and voice, verify VLAN information, delete. You can also delete the VLANs. VLAN trunks, trunk configuration commands. So till now you are configure and verify the VLANs, and it's time to configure and verify the VLAN trunks also. Okay, trunks. A VLAN trunk is a layer 2 link between the two switches, you can say, that carries traffic for all the VLANs. So to enable trunk links, configure the interconnectivity ports with set of interfaces in a using some configuration commands. So enter the global configuration mode again. Use the command called as a configuration config terminal and to also enter into interface configuration mode, interface ID, set the port to permanent trunking mode, switch port mode trunk, and set the NAT to VLAN to something other than VLAN, that is switch port trunk NAT to VLAN VLAN ID, and for specify list of VLANs to be allowed on the trunk link, and you are using a command called as a switch port trunk allowed VLAN. How many VLANs you are allowed, you can allow it. And to again go for the privilege mode, you can go use the command called as a end. Okay, we go with example. So trunk configuration example, the subnet associated with each VLAN are, so VLAN faculty VLAN 10, and address IP address for the PC1 is 172.17.10.21, and similarly for student VLAN 20 and 172.17.20.22, and for VLAN 30 guest IP address is 172.17.30.23, and these are IP addresses associated with the each VLANs here subnets. So F0 by port is on S1 is configured as a trunk port in this example. So we'll take one example here and we'll do the simulation. So already I had taken one example, same example. So VLAN 10, the IP address for the PC is 172.17.10.21. How to set? Just double click on PC PT, okay, PC1, that is staff. So you can see the config, desktop, IP config. What is the IP address I am given? 172.17.10.21. The subnet mask already comes. Just close it. And similarly for VLAN 22, desktop IP config, the IP address 172.17.20.22, and subnet mask followed by subnet mask. And for VLAN 30, desktop terminal, okay, config PC2, IP config, and what is the IP address? 172.17.30.23, and followed by the subnet mask. So now go for the switch configuration mode. Okay, command line. Wait for the configuration. Let's boot. Enable. It is in a user executive mode. Now it is a privilege mode, and go for the configuration mode. Config T. Now we want to enter the VLANs here, okay, followed by the IP addresses. So for that purpose we need to configure the VLANs first. So for that purpose on switch 1, okay, VLAN 10, VLAN 10. So I'm giving the name, and the name is student of staff. So you can end here. Similarly for VLAN 20, so go for configuration mode. It will go for always a privilege mode. So VLAN 20 and name student. Yes. End. Again configuration mode, config T. So you can give directly VLAN 10, 20, 30 and student faculty like this, but better to give like this here. VLAN 30 name guest. End. So now you can give the interfaces. So I want to see the interfaces. What are the interfaces? So one is FA0/1 for staff, FA0/2 for student, FA0/3 for guest. Go for switch 1, switch 0. So configuration mode, config T. So interface int, you can write FA0/1 for staff and switch port, which mode access. So any device connected to that port will associate with the VLANs here. So for that we are using this access port. Next switch port, access VLAN 10. Okay, end. Again similarly for fast Ethernet, FA0/1, FA0/2, I think FA0/2. Config, again go for global configuration mode, config T, interface FA0/1 and switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. Similarly end. Again go for configuration mode, config T, interface FA0/3. Okay, and the switch port mode access and switch port access VLAN 30. And end. Now go for, you can see the trunk here between the switch 0 and switch 1. So VLANs are configured on switch port, not on the end device. You want to remember that. Okay. So I want to give the IP addresses. I want to give the IP addresses for these interfaces here. So again click on the switch, just add the IP addresses. What are the IP addresses for staff? You can see here 172.17. So for that, so interface VLAN 10. So already it is in privilege mode. Go for configuration mode, global configuration mode, interface VLAN 10, and IP address, IP add. What is IP address? 172.17.20.0, 255.255.255, sorry, 0.0. Okay, followed by subnet mask. Exit. Similarly for yes, VLAN 20 also, interface VLAN 20, interface VLAN 20, IP address, you can see the up, IP address, IP add. What is the IP address for the student? 172.17.30.0. Oh, you are not followed by subnet mask. So followed by subnet mask 255.255.0.0. Now you can see this. So exit again. For the guest also you want to give. So for the guest, interface VLAN 30, and what is the IP address? Oh, VLAN 30, IP address, IP add 172 dot IP add 172.17.30.0 followed by subnet mask. Okay, exit. Okay. Now I'm going for VLAN's interfaces for 10, 20, 30 support faculty, student, that is faculty, student and guest computers. That is the F0 by 1 port on switch S1 is configured to the trunk port, and forward the traffic to VLANs. VLAN 2030 and VLAN 99 is configured as an active VLAN here. So now we want to configure an active VLAN is changed to VLAN 99. Okay. And similarly for also native VLAN, the IP address I want to give. Okay, IP interface VLAN 99. So IP add, what is the IP address? 172.17.99.0 followed by subnet mask 0. Okay, exit. Now on fast Ethernet 01 to native line change to VLAN 99 and allowed to VLAN is restricted to 10, 20 and 30 and 99. So go for switch 1 and command prompt CLI enable config. So switch port fast Ethernet. What is the fast Ethernet I am using here? FA 0 by 1. Okay. Interface FA 0 by 1 fast Ethernet. Okay. Switch port mode trunk now you can see switch port trunk native VLAN 99. Okay, now again switch port, trunk allowed, VLANs are, so one is 10, 20, 30, 99. Now end it. So to verify the trunk configuration, okay, we have the command called as a show interfaces FA0/1 switch port. Okay, yeah, you can see this shows FA0 as a administrator mode, that is to trunk. The port is trunking mode here, and switch port is enabled. Administrator mode is trunk, operational mode is trunk, administrator is none, and trunk encapsulation .1Q, and trunking VLANs enabled is 10, 20, 30 and 99, and proning disabled, and capture VLANs allowed is all. Okay, so to determine dynamic trunking protocol, okay, we go for this another example, another slide. We completed VLAN trunks here. So this example we covered. Verified trunk configuration, we can go for interface FA00/0, and show interface FA0/1 switch port command, and it is set to trunk administratively and set to trunk optionally. Encapsulation .1Q, native VLAN set to VLAN 99. All VLANs created on switch will pass traffic on this trunk. So these are highlighted ones. You can see this. Trunking VLAN enabled all. The trunking native VLAN modes are 99. Okay. You can reset the trunk to default state. Okay. So no, by using command called as a no switch port trunk allow VLAN, no switch port trunk and native VLAN. So verify the default setting with the sh int FA0 switch port command again. So all VLANs are allowed to pass traffic, and native VLAN equal to VLAN 1 here. So reset the trunk to default state. We are using the reset the trunk to the access mode with the switch port access command. And dynamic trunking protocol. So coming to this, some Cisco switches have proprietary protocol that lets them automatically negotiate trunking with a neighbor device. This protocol is called as a dynamic trunking protocol. So DTP can speed up the configuration process for the network administrator generally. On default, by default, on Catalyst 2960 and 2950 switches, and Dynamic Auto is default on 2960 and 2950 switches here. May be turned off when the negotiable command, and setting the switch to static trunk, static access will avoid negotiation issues with the switch port mode trunk, switch port mode access commands here. Okay. So negotiate interface modes are generally switch port mode command as additional options, and use of switch port no negotiate interface configuration command to stop DTP negotiation. We have different options like access, dynamic auto, dynamic desirable, and as well as a trunk. So access is mainly for permanent access mode, and dynamic auto will becomes a trunk interface if neighboring interface is set to a trunk or desirable mode here. Next one is a dynamic desirable. Actually seeks to become a trunk by negotiating with other auto or desirable interfaces here. And for trunk, permanent trunking mode and negotiate to convert the neighboring link into the trunk link here. So results of DDP configuration. These are some options you can see: dynamic auto, dynamic desirable, and trunk and access. Dynamic auto, you can see the access, trunk. So these are options you can see for different things. So to verify the DDP mode, to determine the current DDP mode, we are using the command called as a show DDP interface command to determine the current DDP mode. So this is all about the basics of VLAN configurations and trunking here. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.